Hey guys, what's up everybody, and welcome back to House of a Warrior. And let's step right into baking. So here are my ingredients. You already saw my sugar, that is baking powder, and some chocolate powder. I have some eggs, some oil, and I have mint candy, which I crushed in a mortar and pestle, and this is how it turned out. And then you either use melted butter or margarine. What I have is margarine, and that's all you actually need for brownies. So of course, as always, you're gonna have to start with your wet ingredients. As you can see, I've already put my butter in my bowl, and there comes the sugar, which is not a wet ingredient, but the only wet ingredient in this recipe is the margarine, the eggs, and just a little oil. So you're gonna mix the butter, the margarine in my case, with your sugar really well until it's fully mixed together. And then when you're satisfied with what you have, you're gonna move ahead and pour in your eggs as well. And yeah, this is gonna get harder to mix with a whisk, as I found out. Owning a hand mixer has always been in my bucket list, especially after I had children and started baking a lot. I've always wanted to own a hand mixer. I couldn't buy it this year, a lot of things went down, and having a hand mixer was not one of my priorities. But maybe we can move that to next year and plan for it and purpose to own one at least before 2023 is over. Okay, so you're gonna continue mixing until everything is incorporated nice and it looks good to you. The hand mixer makes it so much easier because it gets fluffier way faster than this. Okay, so keep mixing, and then you're gonna go in with some oil. The recipe called for a cup of oil. What I had in my bowl was a cup, but then I thought it looked too much considering I had already used some margarine, so I decided to just use a little bit of that and see how my brownies will turn out. I should mention that this is my first ever try at making brownies ever. I have never ever tried to do this, and I should have stuck to the recipe I watched, because I tried to change stuff. Like, the recipe I watched did not have baking powder in it, but I used baking powder, which was dumb. Yeah, so I wish I would have stuck to it to the letter. And then I used my mint. Of course, I chose mint because it's a festive kind of ingredient, and we're in the festive season. Yeah, so I wanted the minty flavor in my brownies, and my gosh, they were really there. Like, it really tasted, you could really taste the mint. And then as soon as I put in my mint, I also added in my chocolate. This is just normal drinking chocolate, just normal drinking chocolate powder. That's what I used, and some baking powder as well, which was totally unnecessary. First of all, because the recipe did not call for it, and secondly, because the flour I was using was self-raising flour, so it was totally unnecessary for the baking powder. But still, I used it anyway. I mixed all that really nice together. You can see the little tiny green mint stuff in there, and at this point the thing smelled so good. The butter was smelling so nice. So now I use like a flat spoon to kind of fold in my flour into the mixture to avoid it having a lot of air bubbles. Yeah, so that is literally what I'm doing. The butter for brownies has to be a bit lighter than what cake butter looks like, heavier than pancake butter, but lighter than cake butter. Yeah, so it's a bit tricky. It's better to go with exact measurements, but I wanted to make double the size of the recipe I watched, because I know my kids with snacks and dessert, and myself too. I have a sweet tooth, so I wanted to make double of everything. And yeah, that's why I was just eyeballing everything. But yeah, I keep doing that until, keep mixing in flour until you feel like you have the right consistency of butter that you want. Okay, and that is what we keep doing. And also at this point, I should mention that you should already be preheating your oven. You don't want to put butter in a completely what do I call it, unheated oven. Yeah, so you should already be heating up your oven before this step, before you start oiling your pan. So what you do is either oil your pan with some butter, margarine, or oil. I chose oil because it's what I had the closest to me. Still works. All those three things work perfectly, especially this being a glass casserole. It would not have stuck to to the bottom of the glass, but because I put candy in there, the candy melted, and you guys, you'll just see the outcome. Like, the thing was a total disaster. The middle part only, because the sides came off really nicely, and the middle part, all the candy I think went to the middle, and all of it stuck to the bottom. So I think I should have crushed it a bit more into into a fine powder, because I left some huge, as you can see while I'm pouring this in, there are some huge pieces that are dropping into my pan. So those are the ones I should have crushed a little bit more than I did. Because when it got into the heat and the heat melted them, they went straight to the bottom and stuck there. So I would recommend that if you're going to use candy, crush it into fine powder. Okay, so that's it. That's all. Remember to shake your pan a little bit to release any air that is trapped in there. I did not show you, but I did that. And then just stick it into your oven and leave it in there for 25, I think it was 20 to 25 minutes maximum. And voila, it's done. Yep, as you can see, mine got burnt a little on the top, but let me tell you guys, do not be fooled. The burnt part was the yummiest part. I do not know how it happened, but that's true. The burnt part was really, really yummy. So let it cool down before you cut into it. I know it looks like I cut into it immediately, but this was 30 minutes or so later. We'll let it cool down completely before you cut into it, and plate it up and enjoy. It actually turned out really good. I'm so proud of myself. For a first try, this was really, really good, and it was really, really delicious, although it was a bit sugary, way more sweeter than I imagined it would be. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this new recipe. Please try it. It is the festive season. Make your kids happy, make yourself happy. Have it with some ice cream. Just enjoy the festivities. We'll deal with the calories in January. Any added kgs or pounds, we'll deal with that in January. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please keep telling a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to check us out. I will really, 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 really appreciate it. My goodness, you guys, keep doing that, and let's fill this house up. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow in a new video. Bye.